Hi, everyone. Thank you once again for joining this free website group. Um, this is just to honor those who have been saying they want me to quickly give them a recap of some of the things we learned on Saturday. I promised I was going to do this, but I've been caught up with work and all of that. But I just thought I have to honor my promise. So I'm going to make this as brief as possible. I don't want this video to be long. Now, in plain terms, we look at five things in our last class. What I just did was to just run those that were around through the key things that we need to know in building a website. And we talked about the first one, domain name, which is basically we said it is your address. And we talked about the hosting platform, which is where the address is situated, and it is the platform on which you finally get to build your website. So we said the hosting platform is the land, then the website is the house, then the domain name is the address, right? Okay, then we said afterwards we need to also upload our WordPress. Then on our WordPress, we need to also install a page builder. We said Elementor plugin. And also we said choose a theme, the Astra theme, and then we also download relevant plugins. With all of this, you would obviously be able to build a functional, professional, clean website. So we start wasting much time. Let me just quickly show you, because a couple of people were asking questions on how to go about setting up a hosting platform and a domain name. Now, I have to say this at this point that if you're going to buy a hosting platform, then there's no need for you to buy a domain name. Now, why do I say that? I say that because every time you pay for a hosting platform for up to a year, you get a free domain name. So if you know you're going to be buying a hosting platform, then there's no need to buy a domain name. The only time you can buy a domain name separately is if you probably know that you already have a hosting platform that you probably want to use, then you don't need to buy a domain name. Or if you noticed that the hosting platform does not have the kind of extension you want. And by extension, what we mean is this. Let me just quickly explain that at the bottom. What we mean is, you see, when you see a website that says www.mywebsite.com, .com is the extension. .com is the extension. You've seen a lot of websites have different extensions. Some have .net, some have .edu, some have .com, .ng, some have .ng, right? So it depends on the type you want. But the one that is the most common is .com. Now, if it's a Nigerian website, it can take .ng or .com.ng, which is what a lot of businesses like to use because they are located in Nigeria. All right. So without wasting much time, let me just show you how to set up your hosting platform and your domain name. I'm going to try to, of course, I'm going to show you two. The first one is going to be, I'll try and see if we can do this on, I want to see if we can do this on Domain King. And the second one would be, let's see if we could do it on HostGator. So let's start with Domain King. First and foremost, you go to domainking.ng.com. Then you can just log in. And if you have an account, if you don't have an account, you need to register. So just just look for a place to register it. I'm sure if you click on the login, I'm sure you should be able to find a place where you can register. So your new registration, you can just click here if you're registering for the first time. I have registered already, so I just need to just sign in. And so once you sign in, this is how your portal looks like. Pretty much simple. So you want to buy a domain, like I said, if you're going to get a hosting platform, then there's no need to buy a domain, right? So if I want a hosting platform, all I need to do is just to come here, web hosting. Can you see web hosting? I click on this. What happens? It takes me to the different options they have. For starters, especially for some of you that wants to build website, I would say go for this very first option. Why? It gives you 2 gig of disk space. Then of course it gives you um, one free domain. You can see that here, one free domain. Free SSL. SSL is basically like the security. But don't worry, unlimited email, unlimited subdomains, and the likes. But let's not waste too much time. How much do you get to pay? You get to pay 5K for 1 year. So all you need to do is just to, since you have it here, if you want to pay more than 1 year, then 2 years you go that way. You click on this. You want to pay 3 years, you pay this, and then so if you want it, you just click on order now, and then follow the process. Payment here is pretty much easy, and once you do that, you bought what. So in the course of buying, don't forget, as you're filling the form, you would need to also impute your domain name. So it gives you a free.com.ng, free.com.ng. Remember, the extension is .com.ng. Do not forget this. That is what it gives you. So it's pretty simple. Just click on order now as if you're buying stuff online. Make sure it's on 1 year. Click on order now, and then boom, you're good to go. They have other plans, like they have this for, you can host 3 domains, all right, and it's how much, for 3 months. So if you're buying for 1 year, you're going to be paying 14,000. If you look at that, you're going to be paying 14,000. They have other kinds of, there's the unlimited book space, and that one is selling for 3,500 for 1 month. And then if you're doing 1 year, obviously you're going to be paying a lot more than what you would be paying if you're doing the other options that they have. 1 year gives you 30K, you can see. All right, okay, but let's not waste much time on this. That's basically how. Once you set it up, I'll show you what happens afterwards. Then the next one we need to look at is HostGator. Let's go to hostgator.com. Just type hostgator.com. When you get to hostgator.com, don't forget, like I said, if you are buying a hosting platform, then there is no need to get a domain name, because if you buy your hosting platform for 1 year, you obviously get a free .com domain. Okay, so I'm on hostgator.com, and because I want a hosting platform, I go to hosting. You go to shared hosting. Shared hosting. You can see where I went to. On your shared hosting, you can see you have the Archling plan. It gives you $2.75. Then this is three, blah, blah, blah. Now, all of this price you have here are dependent on if you are buying for 3 years. But of course, we're buying for 1 year. You see what I mean? All right, let's go. Let's just go. The Archling plan is, I mean, if you're building a website, this is a starter package as far as I'm concerned. So for at your level, just get the Archling plan. All right. So if you already have a domain, then you just click on I already have a domain. Yeah. And then you ask you to enter your domain, and then you can now choose your hosting plan and go ahead, right? But if you don't have a domain, just click on register a new domain, and then it says 1 year domain registration on selected annual plan. It gives you 1 year domain registration if you pick an annual hosting plan, right? Okay, so you put the domain you want here, you just type it here. Is it .com? If you don't want it .com, you look at the other dots you have. But one thing you need to know is that because this is an American site, it's an American hosting platform, you don't have a .com.ng or probably a .ng. All right, so let's go ahead. These are other extensions, as you can see, but let's go ahead. So we don't forget the hosting plan we want to choose initially. I told you to choose Archling. When you choose Archling, and if you're paying for 36 months, which is basically 3 years, what happens is you pay the price you saw at the beginning, which is $2.75. However, if you're paying for 1 year, you can see if you're paying for 1 year, which is 24 months, you pay $3.45, right? So let's pay for 1 month, because let's pay for 1 year rather, because, and then you can also pay for 3 months. You can pay for 1 month or 3 months, but the lesser the month, the higher you get to pay, right? Okay, so let's go. Let's say we're paying for 24 months, right? Yeah. So what do? You type your, just fill in your HostGator, because you don't have an HostGator account before now. So you enter your email, choose a PIN you want, just like a typical bank PIN. Not necessarily the one you use for your ATM, so you can put any PIN here, yeah, because you're just registering. All right. Then that's if you don't have an account. If you have an account here, then you can just sign in, and then enter your info, your billing info, blah blah blah, and all of that, and then you're good to go. However, don't forget other additional services. Ensure you uncheck this. Now let me show you what happens if you don't check that. Now the total cost that we have here is $295 for 1 year. Now it's discounted. I'm giving a discount of 164 because of this. I'm giving a discount of $164. Now what happens? Total amount I'm supposed to pay now is $139. You can see, quite expensive, right? Cool. It gives you 1 year hosting, and then 1 year domain name. However, see what happens when I uncheck this. And why can you uncheck this? You can uncheck this because there are plugins you can actually use to back up your computer and all of that. So you really don't need all of that. Now see what happens when I uncheck that. Look at my total is now what, 190, right? Now look at this. I'm giving a discount of this. See what my balance is. I'm paying 88 as against almost $120 that we saw initially. You can see. All right. So it saves you a lot of cost. Once you're done, ensure you click on you have read and check out. Then you make your payment, and then what happens? they send you an email every time you register. Even in Domain King, every time you register, they send you an email. Now, when they send you an email, your email would always contain, let me just show you how the email would look like. In most cases, I need to show you how the email would look like, so you will probably have a good understanding of how it looks like. All right. So when you do that, your email comes and it looks like this. It comes in this form. Let me see. Let me see. Um, Name server. All right. Let's get to account info. All right. Let's see. So when you do that, this is what you get. Now, what they send to you, this for HostGator, for instance, they send you can see the plan I bought, Axlin plan, just like the one I said you should buy. Now they send you your HostGator control panel. It comes with a control panel. They send you your HostGator control panel, your username, your password, and they send you, you see your name server. The name server is usually two names, right? First is in two lines. The first name server, then the second name server, right? That's all. So for you to sign in, all you need to do is just go to your control panel. Click on the control panel. This is where you start building your website. So after you have purchased your domain name and your hosting platform and your domain name, especially from the same place, which is always advisable you do at this stage. Once you do that, what you now do is go to the email that was sent to you upon registration, click on the link that has control panel. It takes you straight up to your control panel. Now you may need to enter in your password and your username. All right, no problem. But it takes you to your control panel. Now I need to show you what a control panel looks like. So I need to sign into my HostGator account. I need to sign into my HostGator account so I can give an idea of what a control panel looks like. It doesn't matter either you are buying from Domain King or you're buying from HostGator. The control panel is the same thing, always, always, always. So do not fret. Your control panel is always, always, always the same thing. And I'm going to prove that. I'm going to show you that right away. I'm going to show you that right away. I'll show you how your control panel looks like now. Okay, so let's say we're going to what was the website we used the other time? We used House of Therapy. Yeah. So this is how your control panel looks like. So once you sign into your control panel, it opens like this. Dismiss. It opens like this. This is how it opens. You can create your email from here, and then these are all the files. You don't need to touch any of these files because you don't need to, this is where your data, this is the back end of your computer. This is the real back end. This is where all the programming and all of that, the database and all of that happens, right? Okay, but we're not concerned about this. What we're concerned about is our WordPress. So what you do is to go to the part that has software. You can see you have email, you have files, you have databases, you have domain. You don't have any problem with all of this. Metrics, security, software. Under software, then you can now click on quick install. Click on quick install and follow the prompt, or you can click on WordPress Manager by Software Colors and follow the prompt. Just follow whatever it says. It will finally open into a WordPress. I'll show you how the WordPress would look like. Once you finish filling that, it opens into a WordPress. What was that? My cPanel again. That was House Therapy. House Therapy. All right, House Therapy. It opens into your WordPress. I want to show you how your WordPress looks like. So once you upload your WordPress or set up your WordPress from your cPanel, this is what happens. You sign into your WordPress, and this is what it looks like. This is exactly what it looks like. Now, I think I've been able to show you guys how to go about buying your domain name and your hosting as much as I can. In our next class, we'll continue. On Saturday, please make it a point, 8 to 10. Ensure you come because Saturday is going to be a practical class. Like it's purely practical. And before Saturday, please ensure that you have your hosting and your domain set up. I need you to have downloaded WordPress and get to this point so that we can continue. But if you are a bit confused even after this video, just relax. We're going to go through the process one more time on Saturday. All right, guys, to have a beautiful day. Take care of you. I hope this helps.